Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Faraway. Guys, I'm gonna start on this S10. Like I always do, guys. First of all, what I do, I start marking all the little dents that it has. Alright, that's the first thing you need to do. Again, look down the side, start marking them, and go from there. It's best for you to work on those areas first, or don't sand them, because you're gonna lose them. Okay, so here we go, guys. Let's start on this. I'm already working on the louvers. It's already almost done. That goes here by the cowl area. So one of the fenders, if you can see, one of the fenders is already done. The other fender, all right, the other fender has like 1/2 inch of body filler. I don't want to sand it down and just add more body filler. So I talked to the owner of the truck. He's gonna get me another fender. I don't want to have a fender full of body filler, so we're gonna get a new fender. All right. So I'm gonna start. You can see right here, all the top of this bed needs some body work. So what I'm gonna do, all this side of the bed has no body work. So I'm gonna start sanding this side, prepare this for body filler, and go from there. Okay, I'm gonna start sanding with 220. Alright guys, we're on this part right now. I already sanded all this. This blue paint, it is no good, so I'm trying to take as much paint off as possible. You can see right there. Now here, as you saw that everything was squared off, that everything goes like this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scrape it down. I'm using an angle grinder with a 36 grit grinding disc. I'm taking everything off. So it feels rough right now, which is good because that's where all the body filler is gonna stick to. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a skim coat of body filler to smooth everything out. I'm gonna be adding this, guys, also. This goes on the tailgate. It goes over everything else on the tailgate, so that's what's gonna be added there. I got the wheel wells, I guess, fender wells, whatever you want to call them. I got the hood. The hood's brand new. I got a roll pan. I got the radiator support housing. So everything's gonna be done. There's some other parts. As you can see here, the mechanism for the tailgate, I'm going to install it in the inside. So I'm going to show you how to do that also. Okay? Alright guys, let's continue. Alright guys, I added the first layer of body filler. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let it dry and sand it down, see how much more I need. And if I need a little bit more, I'll add another skim coat of body filler. Alright guys, everything's ready to add primer. Right there. All the little dents have been fixed. Everything has been sanded. So we're good to go. I'm going to be adding some 2K primer, some direct to metal primer. So this is going to help with this bare metal right here. It's direct to metal primer, so we'll be good. I don't need to add some self-etching primer. But let's go, let's get to it, and let's start priming this area. Alright guys, there it is. Everything's primered, everything's ready. So I did miss a dent that it was hard to see right there. So I'm gonna have to grind that off, put some body filler, and take care of it, primer it back, and that's it. But other than that, you can see, nice and straight. I did, the gun did throw a couple of little minor, I guess primered debris, but I'm gonna block sand everything else. I'm gonna block sand everything once the whole bed is ready, so it's all good. Today I'm gonna be working on the tailgate. I'm gonna be installing that panel, the one that covers everything here. So let me show you how to do it, how to flip that handle mechanism to open the tailgate. I'm gonna flip it into the inside. I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right. First of all, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be taking this off. All right. I already unbolted it from the back. So I took off the pins that open the tailgate. These right here. There's one on each side. So I'm going to take it off. This is going to be no good no more. I'm going to install a new one. Let me show you the pieces that come with the kit to flip it to the inside. Okay guys, this is the kit. Everything's included. This is what's going to be going in through the inside. That's going to be holding the new latch, the new handle. Okay, that's what's going to be in here, but through the inside of the bed. Everything comes new. There you go. So even instructions, which I don't need, but They're there. Also sound deadening foam. Okay, that's what comes with the kit. Now let me show you how everything's installed, how you need to do everything, and go from there. Alright guys, first of all, after taking off the handle, okay, after taking it off, you still have these rods right here that I have some new ones, so I'm going to have to take these out. So in order to do that, I need to unscrew these two screws right here, and this thing will pop out. Okay, this thing will come out. This mechanism you're still going to need, so just take the rod out and set this aside. Okay, do that to both sides. Alright, after removing both ends, flip the tailgate over and find center. You got to find center in order to align the new paneling that's going to go here. You're going to have to cut a hole, and that's why I need to find center. So let me do that. Let me get myself the tape measure, mark it on both sides, and go from there. Alright, I found my center right there. Now the instructions come with a template that I need to follow in order to get the correct location where I need to cut. So it says to put the template right on the very edge. Let me do that right now. Follow the center line right there. And just punch some holes there. Cut this out, and that'll be the perfect square that you need. So let me do that. Let me mark it, punch it, and cut the hole. Alright guys, I already marked it. Got myself a cutting wheel. So let me start cutting. Alright guys, there's the hole. Let's try this on. And perfect fit. Right there. This is going to be installed with self-tapping screws. The reason being is that if you want to need to take this off for some reason, you can. If I weld it on, you're not going to be able to take it off in case something goes wrong inside. So it's going to be held with self-tapping screws, and then they're going to put the rhino. I believe they're going to put the rhino on all inside the bed. So this is going to be done with rhino lining also. So it'll be good. Okay, next it's going to be, I'm going to have to grind this off and put some self-etching primer and protect it. Put a layer of paint right here just so it can be protected. We don't want rust starting to creep underneath everything. So I'm going to do that right now and prepare it for me to install this. Alright, I already installed the mechanism right there. All the bolts have been installed. The latch opens easily, nicely. So next it's going to be installing these screws. I don't know if I'm going to add these screws. These screws are real small to install on this, so I'll see. But next thing is just to install it right there. Screw it down and it'll be ready. I need to add the rods that came with it, install the other mechanisms on the sides, but it's all good. I'm going to start marking these holes and install them. Okay, everything's been installed. I already installed these hinges right here. on both sides. I installed the rod, and that's it. You can see right there, everything's working fine. So that's it, guys. Let me start installing this panel. That's the one that's going to cover the front side of the tailgate, and show you how to do that. Alright guys, I'm going to start installing this plate that goes on the outside of the tailgate. That's what's going to be seen. Right here, I want to show you that I already painted this area with flat black. It's just to protect the metal. I put self-etching primer, then I added the flat black. So that's going to be inside. That's not gonna. You're not even gonna see this. I just sprayed it so that I can protect the metal from the inside. That's all it is. Okay. So let me start. Okay, guys. All of this is gonna be welded. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grind all this area right here, all this edge, just the edge, and the edge on that, so that I can have a nice clean surface so that I can weld. So I'm going to be cleaning all the edges. All the edges are going to be cleaned, and go from there. Right here you can see all the protection that I put already inside, so it's all good. And let me start grinding all that off. I'm going to do it with a 36 grit grinder. So I'm just going to clean all the area. Alright guys, everything has been cleaned. So it's ready. It's ready to weld. Let me start tack welding so that I can have a perfect weld so it can hold, because oh yeah, it's good. Alright, let me start welding. Alright guys, that'll be it. I already welded the tailgate right there. All I need to do is add a little bit of body filler just to smooth everything out. These tack welds right here that came wherever they made this tailgate, this cover. So they made this, so I just need to smooth it out and have it ready. But other than that, it's good to go. And that's how you flip the latch to the tailgate. I already removed the bed. I'm gonna start working on this side, cleaning it out, sanding it down, and start blocking this. Another thing, I'm already on this side, like I showed you on the previous video. The thing is, it has a lot of little dings and dents, so I still need to work on that. I still need to primer it all and put some self-etching primer and go from there. So yeah, let me start working on those dents and start priming it. Hopefully I'll be able to spray the paint. If not, well, it's gonna be till the following video. But I'm trying my hardest to do it so I can show you. But I'll show you the priming process anyways. All right. Alright guys, there it is. This side, I still need to sand it down. I am going to primer it. I have a lot of little dents on top here, so that's why I didn't want to prime this. I wanted to finish adding some primer on this. I didn't want it to stay bare metal for a long time, so it's good. It's good to go. In this video, I'm going to show you how to block sand your primer in order to get it ready for paint. So let's get started. This, what you see here, is this black stuff is just spray paint that I put there in order to have it like a guide coat. So let me show you. I already started here, but let me show you how I do it to put a guide coat on it. All right, first of all, I have a rattle can, just a regular black spray paint. This is dull. This is a flat spray paint. It's not glossy. So let me show you what to do and go from there. All right, right there, you saw me how I added the regular spray can spray paint. So I have a almost even area, and that's it. That's all you need to do before you start sanding down the primer. I already added some on that side. Let me let this dry. Let me go to the other one so I can show you how to sand it. All right, guys, first of all, what you're gonna have to do, get yourself a block sander. This is made from 3M, right there. This is what I use. I have several of them, but this is what I'm gonna use in this particular truck. The reason being is that it has a bunch of little curves that I don't wanna use a big block. So that's what I'm gonna be using. So let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna be using 220 sandpaper first to start taking all this guide coat out. As you can see right here, everything's smooth already. All the guide coat has gone. So that's what we need to do for the entire bed. All right, let me show you how. Alright guys, and you saw how I did this part now. Okay, that's what you need to do to the entire area that you primered and that you added that guide coat. Okay, so now let me show you what I do next. I get this can, it's called Quick Check. So what I do, I spray it on, and this is gonna give me the illusion that the bed or the area that I sanded has clear coat, and that'll tell me how straight my job of sanding is. Okay, so let me show you. Alright guys, and that's how you use that product. It's not gonna affect the painting, it's not gonna affect anything. So now I know that this area is smooth, that this area is ready. So I'm gonna continue sanding. I'm gonna continue sanding on the rest, and I'll come back when I'm gonna show you what to look for whenever you have a dent that you didn't see. Okay, I have, like I said, I have a couple of them. I think it's on this side. I have a couple of them there. So I'm gonna show you what the guide code tells you whenever you have a dent that you haven't, that let's say you missed it. Okay, so let me continue sanding and I'll come back. Okay, everything has been sanded already. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. Now this is what I wanted to show you right here. These are the two dents that I missed, and what the guide code does, it shows you your errors, and on the bodywork it shows you where there's some highs and there's some lows. So right here I have two little dents that I'm gonna have to fix. So let me do that right now and go from there. That way I already have this sanded, so I'm gonna prime all this. I still need to work on some body work right there. I'm gonna do that, and whenever I prime this, I'm gonna add some more primer to that, and then I'll block sand it again. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on the other side and do the same thing I did to this. Okay, everything's ready. It's good to go. So now I'm just gonna cover up the inside of the bed so I don't get paint in there, and start spraying. So let's get to it. Let's get to the spraying process, and I hope you like it. Alright guys, there it is. The bed is done. The inside of the hood is done. So there it is guys. I'll be showing you the entire truck outside once everything's painted. But that's it guys, that's it. At least this thing's done. We got the rest of the truck to do, so there's more videos to come on this truck. Alright guys, this is it. This is after 3 coats of base and 4 coats of clear on the fenders and 2 coats of clear on the tailgate and hood. The reason being is that those still need to get sanded down to add the racing stripes. Alright, that's the reason. So I'm going to let this set for a couple of days so that I can start buffing the fenders and get them out of here. This one, everything was painted inside and out, clear coated inside and out, so hope you liked it. I'm going to be talking about primers. I've been asked several times, do I need to put primer when I'm painting a car or a truck or whatever you're going to paint? Primer is mainly used for one of 2 things. One of them is for corrosion protection. Okay guys, if you reach bare metal in places like, let's say this part, I do need to add some self-etch primer or some direct to metal primer to prevent this from rusting. Okay, I cannot put the paint under directly to the metal. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason you might add primer is for when you have body work, when you've done body work, you do need to add primer on the body work. Okay, that way it'll cover up some little imperfections, some minor scratches that might be left on the primer and all that. That way you can block it down and have it smooth out. Those are the only two things that you might need primer. You do not need to add primer to the entire vehicle to paint it. If the paint underneath is good and all you're doing is scuffing it down and preparing it for paint, and if you didn't cut through any of the parts, you don't need to add primer. You can put the paint directly on top of the other paint. Nothing's gonna happen. The paint's gonna, the adhesion's gonna be there, and that's it. That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to add primer to the entire vehicle. Another thing you might want to do is there's another thing called sealer. Sealer is another thing. If you have a bunch of different colored parts on the vehicle, primer that you worked on the body filler, that you have several different spots on the vehicle, it might be a good idea to add sealer to the entire car. That way the car can be uniform to one solid color, and you'll have a good paint all around. Okay, that's another thing that you might do. But to answer the question, do you need to add primer to paint a car? That is no. You do not need to add primer to paint a car. All you need to do is scuff it down, sand it down, smooth it down, do the body work that you need to do, add primer to the body work, or if you, like I said, if you cut through some spots to bare metal, add some self-etching, some direct to metal, and that'll be it. That's about it. That's all you need to do. Alright guys, I hope this answered your questions about primers. There's a lot of misconception that you do need to add primer to the entire vehicle. On this truck that I'm doing, I am adding primer to the entire truck, but because of this, look at all the pitting it has and everything. That's one of the reasons. There's a lot of bare metal, so I am adding primer to this. But to answer the question guys, you do not need to add primer to the entire vehicle to paint a car. This week, I'm going to show you how I'm going to create the racing stripes for this hood and tailgate. The top, I'm going to be doing it when I paint the cab. So let me show you, and let's get started. Okay, you saw when I added the 2 coats of clear to this hood and tailgate. The reason being is to protect the paint. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to scuff it down, I'm going to sand it down, smooth it all out so that I can prepare and start adding the tape for the racing stripes. Okay, I'm going to be using a DA with an interface pad and 800 grit sandpaper. Okay, the reason I'm using 800 is because I just added 2 coats of clear. I don't want to get to the paint. I just want to smooth it down, scuff it down, and that'll be it. So I'm going to do all the flat surfaces with the DA and all the edges with a gray Scotch-Brite, like I said, I don't want to burn through, so I'm gonna be doing that. This is nice and sanded already. It's ready to add the paint and the clear coat over it. Okay. It's not gonna be ghost flames. What I'm gonna be, not ghost flames, ghost racing stripes. What I'm gonna be doing, it's gonna be a black racing stripe, 2 black racing stripes, but the black has a lot of pearl on it, so it looks very nice with this color. All right, so let me show you, and let's get started. Okay, you saw how I did it. First I did it with the DA, and then what I did, I just smoothed everything out on the corners with the gray Scotch-Brite. Alright, so let me continue with the rest of the hood and the tailgate, and I'll bring you back when the painting process, well actually I'll bring you back whenever I'm going to start taping the lines. Alright. Okay, I already sanded the tailgate, I already sanded the hood. So now you can see right there, everything's nice and dull and good to go. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start marking. I'm gonna start marking where the racing lines are gonna go and go from there. Alright, I already have it marked. That's the center. So what I'm gonna start doing, I still need to add a line. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. I'm gonna be adding the line so that I can go from there. Okay, after putting the center line, I'm gonna get a piece of tape. I know that this line is straight, so I'm gonna put it right in the center. What I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna mark it where the tape is, where the center line is. Okay, after marking the lines, I'm gonna get a ruler. I'm gonna put it right there. And I'm going to mark where the 2-inch line is on both sides. Alright, I'm going to use this as my template to get the center lines so I can start making the racing stripes. All right, there it is. All this center area right here, I'm gonna take this off, but not right now. All this center area is not gonna get painted. So now what I need to do, I'm gonna do the same process. I'm gonna save this because I'm gonna use it in the hood. But I'm gonna do the same process, but for the other line, the one that's gonna cover here and here. So let me do that and go from there. Alright guys, there it is. I'm going to do the same process on the hood. I'm not going to show that, but it's just exactly the same process. Alright, I already took the tape off, the one that was here in the middle. This is going to get covered. All this is going to get covered. And this side's going to get covered. Once I spray the lines, the way I'm going to like them, I'm going to take off everything. Everything's going to be uncovered so that I can clear over everything, and that's the racing lines are gonna be underneath. All right, it's gonna do the same process on that. So let me get started and I'll bring you back on the painting process. All right, everything's covered. We're ready to paint. All the racing stripes have been done. Now what I'm doing right now, I'm just checking, making sure the tape is nice and pressed. I don't want any bleed throughs to the other paint, so that's what I'm doing right now. I already did it with a tack cloth. I already did it with a wax and grease remover. So we're ready to go. Let's start shooting the first coat of base on the racing stripes. Alright, that's after 3 coats of base on the racing stripes. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it set. I'm going to let it dry for about 15 to 20 minutes before removing the tape, because I don't want to lift up the paint that I just added. So I'm going to let it set for about 15-20 minutes, start unmasking it so that I can start clearing everything over. Alright guys, that is it. That is how you create some racing stripes. You can use this technique on cars, trucks, motorcycles, wherever you want. But that is the process. I hope you liked it. We're gonna start the cab now. I already removed the doors and I'm gonna start stripping down the paint. Let me show you this, guys. I'm doing it with a blade right now. Reason being that this, like I said before, when I was doing the bed, the paint is no good. So I don't want to leave this paint. I don't want to paint on top of this paint. It's just going to create a big mess. So I'm going to remove it. And I'll be doing it with a blade, razor blade. Let me show you how. And hope you guys learned something. Alright guys, you see how easy it is to come off with the blade? That means the paint, this blue paint is not well thrown or well prepared. All of these little pits, they didn't clean this metal, they didn't clean the original paint job right, so everything's coming off. That's one of the reasons I don't want to put my paint on top of this, because that's gonna happen. Alright, so let me continue with all the rest of the body, the rest of the cab, and I'll come back to you once everything's been scraped down, and I'll show you the next process. Okay, everything has been taken off already. I picked a couple of little minor dents that it had, so let me show you what's next after taking everything off. I need to start taking all this pitting off, so let me start doing it. Okay, next I'm gonna start sanding with 220 with the DA. Get everything flat. Try to take all of this off. All of this underneath this primer is surface rust, so I need to take all this primer off. Basically, I'm just gonna strip everything down. So let me start doing it. Okay, I'm already here. Everything has been scraped down, everything has been sanded. A lot of the parts I had to sand it down to bare metal because of the paint that was underneath. So I already covered it up, so I'm gonna start putting the 2K primer, some direct to metal primer, on the entire cab. All right, let me show you the top real quick. That's it. All right, everything has been cleaned with some acetone and some wax and grease remover, so it's ready to go. Okay, I'm done with the primer, the direct to metal primer. Everything has been applied. I applied 3 coats of direct to metal primer. 15 minutes in between each coat I waited. So I sprayed it at I think it was 32 psi on the primer. Everything wide open. The gun, everything wide open. So the front, I didn't spray the front because this front panel has never been painted, so I'm just gonna scuff it down and put some sealer on it. Right here on the cowl area, I'm just gonna scuff it down also, put some sealer, and prepare it for paint. Alright guys, in the previous video, I showed you how I sprayed the primer. I already block sanded it, and it's ready to go, okay? So now what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to start covering everything that's not gonna be painted and go from there. All right, so let me start the masking process and I'll bring you back once it's ready to paint. Okay, everything has been masked off, everything's ready. All these yellow little spots that you see, that's where I cut through the primer, the direct to metal primer. So I put some self-etching primer, but it's ready. So let me get started. First of all, I'm going to start adding the sealer on the front. And another thing, I'm going to show you how to do racing stripes a different way that I did it on the first couple of videos, on the first video or second video. Okay, so pay attention and let's learn something. You saw how I sprayed the black? So this is another way you can do the racing stripes. That way you can clear coat everything together. So let me show you how. I sprayed the black on the area that the racing stripe's gonna go. So let me start, I'm gonna let it set for about 30 minutes so that the paint can dry, and then I'll start marking it. I'm gonna mark it the same way I did the tailgate and the hood. Alright guys, this is after 3 coats of base. You already saw how I did the racing stripes. Now I'm going to show you how to remove the tape and everything so that you can start clearing everything over. Alright. Alright guys, this is after a day of drying. This is 3 coats of base with 4 coats of clear. And that's it, there it is. So everything's ready guys. I'm a little sick right now, but sorry about my voice, but there it is. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Faraway. Today I'm going to be painting this radiator support and also the fender wells, wheel wells, whatever you want to call them. Usually don't paint these, but in this case I'm going to paint them. I'm going to paint them black. Alright, so let's go for it. Let's get started. Alright, first of all, I scuffed it down with a red Scotch-Brite, everything. And I cleaned it with some acetone. And now I'm going to be using a tack rag, just getting everything off. After that, I'm going to be adding some adhesion promoter by Bulldog. I'm going to be adding this before I start applying the paint. Alright, so let me get started. And I'll bring you back once the paint, once I'm going to start applying the first coat of paint. Okay, you saw how I sprayed the adhesion promoter. These stickers, I don't really care. I don't really mind for them. They're gonna get painted. All this area you usually don't see, so it's all right. But you saw how I added the adhesion promoter. Now I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes. I'm gonna add another coat of adhesion promoter. Wait another 15 minutes. And then I can start spraying the paint. All right. Okay, this is after 3-4 hours of drying. I added 3 coats of base and 3 coats of clear. So that's it. Came out nice. I wasn't gonna paint these parts, but they look a lot better painted, so I ain't gonna let it go without painting it. All right, and there it is. Today I'm gonna be starting on the doors. The customer wants the door handles to be shaved, so I'm gonna show you how to do that, how to shave the door handles and get it ready for paint. Okay, I'm gonna start. I already removed the glass from this door panel, the door. I'm gonna start removing all the moldings, all the rubber from the doors. Okay, so let me get started and let's go. All right, first of all, I'm gonna start by removing the bolts that are holding the handle. We're not gonna use that no more, so that can be eliminated. I already removed the door handle, also the keyhole. He's not gonna need that. Everything's gonna be electronic, so I'm gonna eliminate all that. Now I'm gonna start removing the paint. You saw how I did it, how I've been doing it on the pickup truck. I've been doing it with a razor blade. I'm gonna do the same thing to this. The paint's peeling off real easy, so let me get started. Most of the paint has already been taken off. So what I'm gonna do in order to find the dents, because I can't see them no more, I could use the quick check, but I'm gonna show you another way. I'm gonna use the inline sander with 80 grit, and I'm gonna start roughing it up. Whatever's not sanded, I know that's gonna be a low spot and there's gonna be a dent there. All right, so let me show you how I do it. Everything has been sanded with the inline sander. Right here, this is what I wanted to show you. All of these dark spots right here, they're dents. Okay, so now I know where the dents are and I can start addressing them. Okay, I started on this side already, so I'm starting to sand this. I'll bring you back as soon as I apply the first layer of body filler so you can see. Okay, it looks like a lot of body filler, but it's not. I don't know if you saw the way I was squeezing the body filler. Most of it is going to come off. The dents are not that big, so most of it's going to come off. I just need something to start off. So I'm going to start grinding. Once it dries, I'm going to start grinding with 36 grit sandpaper on the inline sander, and go from there. If 36 is too coarse, I'll move to 40 grit, but I think 36 will do it. Okay, I'll bring you back as soon as I start sanding. This tape, I laid down this tape just so when I peel it off, the line from the body filler is going to be there. Okay, so let it dry, and I'll come back once I'm going to start sanding. Alright, you saw how I sanded with the 36 grit inline sander. Now it's a lot of space that has body filler. The thing is that it's really a skim layer of body filler. It's not a lot. You can see here it's starting to come through. The paint started to come through. So it's not a lot of body filler. I still need to add some more. I got some little dents that didn't get covered, so I'm just gonna add one more skim layer on all of this, and I'm gonna start sanding it again, but this time it's gonna be with the 40 grit, and then I'll it should be ready, and then I'll go with the other 80 grit and 120 and so forth. Okay, the body work's done. The last sanding grit was 220. Everything's smooth, everything's the way it's supposed to be. I block sanded it. So what I'm going to be doing now, what I did right here, I measured. I'm going to be cutting out the handle and the keyhole. Like I said, this is going to be a shaved door handle and keyhole. This is going to be all electronic, so I'm going to start doing that. I measured, trying to cut it as close as possible. Alright, so let me start cutting and show you the next step as to how to cover it up, weld it up, and start putting some body filler. Alright, the metal piece is already cut. So what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start tacking the corners, and then I'll stitch weld the entire piece before I can start laying the body filler. And there it is, guys. Everything's done, everything's smooth. So all the dents have been addressed. Like I said, this is not a lot of body filler, but it had to be done. It had to be done this way. It had a lot of little dings and dents here. So let me start primering it. I'll bring you back whenever it's going to be ready to paint. I'm going to primer it, then I'm going to block sand the primer, and go from there. I'm going to be putting the 2K primer again. So let me bring you back once it's ready to paint. Okay, the door has been primered. It's white primer. That's all that my supplier had. He didn't have the gray, or usually I use gray primer, but it's the same thing. So what I'm gonna do next, it's a little tip. Hopefully it'll help you guys. Alright, what I'm gonna be doing now, I'm gonna be adding some regular flat black. That's gonna be my guide code. So I'm just gonna be adding it all, and that will help me when I start blocking. That's gonna help me determine as to when to stop and how smooth the body work was. Alright, so let me start doing that, and that'll help me out. And that's it. That's all I gotta do. I already have my guide coat on, so now I'm gonna have to start block sanding. And there it is. After the block sand, I cut through a couple of little spots, which I'm gonna be putting some self-etch primer, but before I paint it. But that's it. You can see there, nice and straight, nice and smooth. I used a quick check in order to check that everything was done right. So the next thing is start painting. Alright guys, let me take you to the painting process. Okay, we're in the painting stage of this process. So I already have everything. These are the last parts of that pickup truck that I'm going to be painting. So let's get to it. There it is, guys. This is after three coats of base and 4 coats of clear on the outside, 3 coats of clear on the inside. All right. So everything from the pickup truck that was supposed to be painted, this is it. Everything's painted. You see right there the shaved door handles came out nice, came out perfect. So that's the way you do it. Today I'm going to be working on the frame of the S10. I'm going to be coating it, and the product I'm going to be using is from KBS Coatings. It's called the Frame Coater Kit, and this is going to be a glossy black. So I'm going to take you to the steps that you need in order to ensure a good protection on the frame. So let's get to it. First of all, I'm going to be removing the back wheels so that I can have access to the back frame. The first step that I'm going to be doing that you need to take is get yourself a wire wheel, or on my case, I'm going to be using a DA with 220 grit sandpaper. I'm going to be sanding everything. You don't need to take off all the rust. The thing is, you need to take off all the rust that's flaking off. That's what you need to do. If you have a lot of rust flaking, you need to take it off. So scratch it down, take it off. So on my case, I'm going to be sanding the entire frame with the DA as much as possible. On the little nooks and crannies, I'm going to get myself the wire wheel, and I'm going to start taking care of that. So that's the first step. Let me get started and go from there. Alright guys, it's already been sanded. So now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using the KBS Clean. I need to mix that 10 parts water with 1 part of that product. Okay, so let me mix it up, put it on a spray bottle, and start cleaning the entire surface. Okay, I already mixed the water and the cleaner in a spray bottle. So what I'm going to start doing I'm going to start spraying the piece. I'm going to go 1 piece at a time, then I'm going to start scrubbing it. Try to get as much as possible out. Okay, so let me start doing this to the entire frame, and I'll come back. Okay, you saw me clean it with water and a little scrubbing sponge. So I took everything off right now. Everything's nice and clean. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using the blower so I can dry everything up. It needs to be completely dry. Alright, the next step is going to be the rust blast. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be spraying it and just leaving it there for half an hour. Just make sure it doesn't dry up. Just keep on adding some of this until you're going to be ready to rinse. Okay, you saw me spraying it. I'm just gonna leave it for about 30 minutes and make sure that it doesn't dry. If it starts to dry, I'll start adding some more. But that's all you need to do. Then you're gonna rinse it off. Okay, it's been like about 30 minutes already. As you can see, I still have the area kind of wet, and that's what you want. You don't want it to dry because you need to rinse it off. Okay, so let me continue. I'm gonna start rinsing it off, and it'll be ready to start applying the paint. After this final rinse, I'm going to start letting it dry, blowing it off with the blower, and make sure everything's dry. So let me continue with that. Okay, after everything is dry, you're good to go. Get yourself a brush. Get yourself the paint, the seal, and start brushing it. Try to go in one stroke. You're going to be adding two coats of this paint. It'll go a long way, so just continue like that. Let me do the whole frame, and I'll get back to you as soon as everything's done. Alright, the entire back frame is done. You can see it is nice and glossy. And to tell you the truth, guys, this paint can go a long way. Alright guys, this is the other one. This is the S10. My part's done. All they need to do, they're going to take it to the electrical, do the wiring. The mechanic still needs to do some stuff. The windows, they're going to take it to the auto glass shop. So that's it. But my part's done, guys. It came out really nice. Came out nice and straight. Right there, you can see it. The interior's kind of done already. They still need to do the dashboard. They're gonna redo the whole dashboard, and like I said, some electrical parts. But that's it, guys. This is my part. It came out really nice, guys. So thank you for following this S10 build. And there's another one. There's more to come, guys. We still have that candy paint job coming up, so stay tuned for that one. That's going to be an interesting one for you guys. All right, guys, thank you. Have a great week, and don't forget to share the video, like the video, and God bless.